good and decent people of YouTube, we got her. Yes, you may remember that a little over 24 hours ago, I put up a video about Kristen Rinaldi. Remember her? Gross. I know. In less than 24 hours, we had 60,000 views. And every single one of you that left a comment, it buoyed my heart. But not just that. At the end of that video, I said, maybe you guys should call her employer. Turns out she works for Tanner Healthcare Solutions. I put that out there. Maybe you guys should let that upstanding company know that they accidentally, obviously, hired a dirt stain like this. A disgusting, gross, unempathetic, indecent human being like this who laughs at people's pain. What am I talking about? Just a couple clips. This is what she did.
What are you all gonna do now that you have no Section 8, no food stamps, no EBT, no nothing? What are you gonna do? I guess you're gonna have to get up off your ass and pull yourself up out of bootstraps and work. You know, work.
Yeah, and she also said this.
Live off of the government. I think it's absolutely hilarious that you're getting a real life lesson in adulthood. I do. I don't feel bad for you because there's some of us Americans who pay taxes. Do you have any life skills? Yeah. Karma. You can't continue to use and abuse your fellow Americans' tax dollars and everything from the government. Now you gotta be a big adult and get a job. Or use some birth control.
You hear the disdain in the voice, the hate? Yeah, that's her. You guys made the calls, sent the emails, gave the text messages, and told Tanner that they need to live up to what they have on their website, their faith and their decency. They put that on their website, and I believed them. And they acted swiftly and justly and with honor. She's fired.
Ms. Rinaldi is no longer employed by or associated with Tanner. Our company in no way endorses, agrees with or supports the views expressed by Ms. Rinaldi in her recent social media post on Section 8 entitlements. Thank you.
She's fired. They let her go. Now, why am I laughing? I'm not mean-spirited. I'm not dark-hearted. I'm not. What I am is aware that the only reason why she made that video in the first place is because she thought she could, because she felt entitled to, because she thought it was funny that people would go without, kids would go hungry, and people who she felt was undeserving, all of them. The outpouring of messages I got, we're at almost, 80,000 now? Because you cared. It's not just spite. It's not just because I feel she deserves it because she's hateful and indecent. It has a bigger purpose. And I found this out in my comment section with you guys. When Kristen Rinaldi said this,
what are you all gonna do now that you have no Section 8, no food stamps, no EBT, no nothing? What are you gonna do? I guess you're gonna have to get up off your ass and pull yourself up out of bootstraps and work. You know, work.
That condescending voice, that condescending, disgusting attitude, that lumping together of all people who deserve to be thrown away like trash. She was talking to Barbara Centony, 1011 in my comment section, who said, I was working at 65, lost job due to unreliable car, but now my Social Security is in danger. Money, myself, and my husband work to receive. I live with my brother because we can't afford a place alone. Trump is the worst thing that ever happened to America. This is not a black-white issue. This is a rich-poor issue. And I don't believe that. This is a black-white issue. But it is also a rich-poor issue because the rich use that black-white divide to make people like Kristen Rinaldi feel better and have someone to hate rather than look up at the oligarchs who don't pay her what she's worth, more than likely. If you can put yourself in Barbara Centeny 1011 shoes, how humiliated do you feel? How humiliated do you feel? You're living with your brother, you're married, you've been working all your life, and Kristen Rinaldi laughs in your face and dances the work, 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 work song.
Work, 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 work.
How much does that hurt? You're already down. You're already kicked. And someone comes and laughs in your face while you're down. Barbara Centeny's story reminded me why I'm here. So I'm glad she's fired, and I'm hoping that she understands how easy it is to go work, 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 work when she's in the unemployment line. Unfortunately, if they still have that government freeze she was laughing at, now she's one of the degradates, and she may not get that unemployment check. She was talking to Strella22, my comment section. I got laid off in March when Louisiana got a new governor, and I'm still struggling to find a job. I'm 60 years old. First time I've ever admitted that. And I got my first job at 14, probably worked double the years and could work circles around her. And she would be working under me for sure, if I would have hired her at all. Plus, who's going to hire a 60-year-old instead of a 30-year-old now? I'll tell you who. Nobody. I was denied unemployment for some reason. I still haven't gotten a straight answer yet. When Kristen Rinaldi laughed in her face, put yourself in her shoes. Who's going to hire a 60-year-old? I thank you for your stories, Strella22. It reminds me why I made that video. Because it wasn't benign. She was laughing and taunting someone who knows that of no fault of her own, an entitled prick like Kristen Rinaldi would get her job just because she's 30 years younger, and especially now that they've gotten rid of the DEI, so they can discriminate against age. Oh yeah, Kristen Rinaldi is going to be walking in that unemployment line, and I will be reveling in it because it'll be the first time that she's ever learned that she's not better than anyone else. And when she inflicts pain on others who are already feeling that pain, to try to destroy them and crush them further, she's filthy, and I'm glad she's fired. She was talking to Sonia Harrison, 1016, in my comment section. I had a heart attack. Sometimes I can hardly breathe. I'm single, and that is the only reason I needed assistance. At 73, after all the taxes I've paid, I have no problem getting some assistance, and she's damn right, because that's who I fight for. It's not benign. It's not benign. The pride that these people feel are they're human beings who've gone through things and have to, when they happen across someone like this filthy, disgusting Kristen Rinaldi.
What are you all gonna do now that you have no Section 8, no food stamps, no EBT, no nothing? What are you gonna do? I guess you're gonna have to get up off your ass and pull yourself up out of bootstraps and work. You know, work, 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 work.
How does that make them feel? That's how I made her feel. If you have any questions morally about what I did and how I did it, let this be a comfort to you. People like Jim Phillips, 6209. I am physically unable to work, and I cannot work anymore. And the reason why that's all caps is because he felt that humiliation in her words. That hurts. It's not benign. What about people like Les is smilingly trying 1436? I'm paralyzed and survive off disability. I work, but it isn't enough to get by. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to pay next month's bill if our benefits don't come through. But you tell her to work, 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 work. I don't feel anything for you.
Live off of the government. I think it's absolutely hilarious that you're getting a real life lesson in adulthood. I do. I don't feel bad for you.
What about people like DD Bar 7639, who says, wow, guess you told me I'm 60. My husband and I live on his Social Security. We collect food stamps as well. First of all, girly, I love that. Love the spunk. We paid into SS our whole lives because we live in an unlivable world. We collect the equivalent of 30 cents per day per person. Can you live on 30 cents per day? on food stamps? What about people like Kiddo 2438? She looks like a pterodactyl. How did that get in there? How did that get in there? This is supposed to be serious. This is a good one. Lee G. George, right? MAGA folks, please don't mistake tolerance for weakness. Just because you have a bunch of incels carrying tiki torches, that's no army, and that's why I'm here. She did that because she thought she could. That's all. She thought she could hurt people because she thought she could push us around, because the bleeding hearts and the kind people and the decent people. There's no name calling. You are decent. You have that feeling because it's right. But I know what it is to fight and win. Would you like to? You can join me in my resistance. You know, the call is coming at the end. I just want a few more people who I promised I would tell their stories. When someone asked the question, should she have lost her job? I'm going to tell their stories of how she humiliated them and how they felt if they happened to scroll by her laughing at them and dancing on their pain. People like Bear's Mom 9415. So many people have no idea how much money it actually takes to make a living. They assume that people don't want to work or don't work. It's not always the truth. I had a cousin who had several disabilities and wanted to work more than anything. She had constant health problems and finally passed away. She got disability payments and shared a house with her working son. How does she feel watching that disgusting piece of filth laugh at her? My own race hates me. I have a disability. And I told my husband I hate being white. I have compassion for people in need because I know what it's like to suffer. Trump is evil. You're goddamn right. My disabled aunt at age 65 had to take on her 2 grandkids. They were Section 8. They were white. She worked her whole life, but life's harder on some than others. Kristen Rinaldi, who you can't seem to figure that out. Be Christ-like and have a heart for all the kids living with government help. B. Dickens, 2190. My stepdaughter is learning disabled. Listen, I could go through all of these. Look at this. Look at this. This is why I did it. So feel good about yourself, YouTube. You did it. She's gone. She's out of there. Because Tanner Healthcare Solutions, they're upstanding. I told you they were, didn't I? Listen, I got one more for you, and I don't know how this got in there. This guy. LKMIJNNAAM. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. He says, yup, she is right, dude. Go to work. Lazy ass black mother effers. Go to work. I'm guessing the KKK is because that's what he belongs to, not work, because he's missing a whole lot of other syllables if that's the case.